election is by far the most important election in American history. With the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson is set to run as president. His opponent is Barry Goldwater, 5-term U.S. Senator from Arizona for the Republican Party. As a general in the United States Army, he led the Arizona National Guard and was a general in the United States Air Force for 37 years. Johnson also has a military background, earning a Silver Star for serving a tour in the South Pacific. He was also elected as the Senator for Texas in 1948. In 1960, Lyndon B. Johnson served as Vice President under John F. Kennedy in order to win the Southern Democrat vote. The unfortunate death of President Kennedy put Lyndon B. Johnson in position to be sworn in as president in 1963 to continue the 1960 John F. Kennedy term. Carrying the popularity and likability of former President Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson now opposes Barry Goldwater in the election of 1964. Lyndon B. Johnson was also elected as Senator for Texas in 1948. Starting in 1960, he was Vice President for John F. Kennedy. The unfortunate death of President Kennedy put Lyndon B. Johnson in place to be sworn in as President in 1963. And now, in 1964, he is running against Barry Goldwater. So with Goldwater's experience as a 5-term senator and Johnson's popularity, we will now proceed to the roundtable debate. So in President Kennedy's term, he supported the ban of nuclear bomb testing. How do you plan on going about continuing the ban and supporting him?
Well, first off, I strongly disagree with the testing of nuclear bombs on American soil. It's not patriotic, and it could be a threat to national security and also put American lives at risk. I plan on going about that by creating some type of treaty or talk to Congress about it later in the future.
Today in America, we're facing a lot of social inequality. So how do you plan on changing that and making reforms unique to you as president?
I propose a solution called the New Deal that could potentially help the impoverished class of America, and eliminating poverty and racial injustice is another goal I plan on achieving. The national poverty is around 19%, and I'm concerned about America's future. Opponent Mr. Goldwater doesn't agree with national recognition for racial equality or social equality as a whole. Instead, he wants individual states to make their own decisions regarding desegregation.
So Barry Goldwater, unfortunately, couldn't be here with us today, but we do have him here up above on the screen, and he will be answering all of our questions for us today. So Barry Goldwater, Lyndon B. Johnson is an incumbent, so how do you feel about that? Do you think that's an unfair advantage, or what is your take? So with serving 5 terms as Senator of Arizona, do you feel you're prepared to be President of the United States of America? Former President John F. Kennedy was known as a very popular and likable president. Do you feel Lyndon B. Johnson has an unfair advantage as well with this?
Thank you for joining us here today, Mr. Duvall. Would you like to share why you support Lyndon B. Johnson in the upcoming election?
I'd be happy to, Matthew. Thank you for inviting me. I have a great honor in being able to share my opinions on why President Johnson should be reelected. First of all, let's look at the economy. We're in a pattern of growth there without excessive inflation there. There's a very great economic stability, which we should maintain for this country. It helps us to become a dominant nation within the world. Our economic stability is very crucial, and President Johnson has been a great leader in that case there. The next point I'd like to bring out is his case on civil rights, his record on civil rights. He has been a great supporter of the civil rights and such. They're backing up the Civil Rights Act and really promoting the equality amongst the races there. For the United States to move forward, we really need to put aside any kind of racial inequality and really embrace the fact that all men are created equal as this country had been founded. And then also, he has the proper temperament towards war there. Mr. Goldwater, Senator Goldwater, is quite the hawk. He often speaks of using nuclear bombs and such and there, which would really escalate the conflict between us and the Soviet Union that can do nothing but really bring about the annihilation of all countries on the world. It's important to take a balanced approach, to have a strong America that is there fighting for democracy and such on that, but is still being able to temper that and not go rashly into war, because we have nuclear weapons should be more of a deterrent than a means of actually using them. With these 3 points there, the fact that President Johnson has a very balanced approach to our country's defense, his outstanding record on civil rights, and the way that he is able to manage the economy, it clearly states that we need to re-elect President Johnson. Thank you.